welcome to Quizmaster Challenge, Montgomery County's own academic competition, which pits the finest minds from Montgomery County in a lively question and answer competition. I'm your host, Joel Beidelman, and Quizmaster. Today we have our number 2 seed team, Paint Branch High School, located in Burtonsville, against our wild card team, Springbrook High School, located in Silver Spring. Let's go and meet the two teams that are here today competing. First is Ryan Anderson, a 15-year-old junior in his second year on the Quizmaster team. Next is Captain Sebastian Joseph, a 17-year-old senior in his first year with the team. Here's Shabani Chetri, a 16-year-old junior in her first year on the show. And finally, David Sutton, a 15-year-old sophomore in his second year with the team. The sponsor of Paint Branch team is David Fanagrossi, a math teacher in his third year at Paint Branch and his second year of coaching the team. Now let's move over to Springbrook High School Blue Devils. Let's meet Gregory Ridgway, a 16-year-old junior in his first year on Quizmaster Challenge. Next is Captain Brandon Feister, a 17-year-old senior in his fourth year on the show. Next is Alex Golden, a 17-year-old senior in his first year on the show. Welcome. And rounding out the squad, Adam Hussein, a 16-year-old junior in his second appearance on the program. The sponsor of the Springbrook team is Dr. Farouk Hussein, joined by Springbrook, and it's academic. He coaches also academic and the Quizmaster team just starting this year. Now let's get started with our opening round. Of course, our opening round is our Four Corners round, where teams get a block of 4 questions, scoring 20 points for each correct answer, no penalty for wrong answers. Our categories today are multiple meaning, a river runs through it, the letter Q, and presidents. Before the game started, we had a coin toss, and Springbrook did win the coin toss. So we'll go over to Captain Brandon. Please choose your first category.
Presidents.
Let's start with presidents. All right, Springbrook High School. This man who successfully ran for presidency was referred to in the campaign slogan, Tippecanoe and Tyler too, as Tippecanoe.
William Henry Harrison.
That is correct. The Georgia Warm Springs Foundation was created in 1927 to help polio victims by what future president?
FDR.
That's correct. Who was the sitting president who in 1965, upon his meeting with Paul VI, became the first to meet a pope in the United States?
Kennedy.
That's incorrect. LBJ. 4. What president from Plains, Georgia in 1976 called his campaign Plain Peanut One?
Carter.
That's correct, Jimmy Carter. After your first block of questions, Springbrook High School Blue Devils, 60 points. Now let's go over to Captain Joseph. You have the choice of multiple meanings, a river runs through it, or the letter Q. Captain Joseph?
A river runs through it.
A river runs through it. Why not? What river, whose headwater is located in Rocky Mountain National Park, carved and is still busy carving the Grand Canyon?
The Colorado.
Colorado River, that's correct. Although it bears the name of another state, what river is featured on the state flag of Nebraska? Captain Joseph?
The Missouri.
The Missouri River. After the Volta, what river is the second longest in Europe? Originating in the Black Forest of Germany, it flows through 4 European capitals before emptying into the Black Sea.
The Danube.
That's correct. Finally, what river was believed by ancient Romans to be a shield protecting Gaul from warring German tribes?
The Rhine.
That's correct, the Rhine. After Paint Branch, after your first block, 80 points. Now let's go back over to Springbrook High School. Captain Feister, your choice. Multiple meanings or the letter Q?
Q.
That's great. I love the letter Q as well. Who is the bell-ringing hunchback created by Victor Hugo?
Quasimodo.
Number 2, what province in East Central Canada has the largest area of all its provinces and has French as its official language?
Quebec.
That's correct. Next, question number 3. The Religious Society of Friends is commonly referred to by what other name?
Quakers.
The Quakers, that's correct. What is the term which defines any of the 4 regions into which a plane is divided by the 2 orthogonal axes?
Quadrant.
That's correct. At the end of your second block, Springbrook High School coming right back, 140 points. Let's go back over to Captain Joseph to take on multiple meanings. Captain Joseph, question number 1. What word can be used to identify part of a plant or part of a musical note or as a verb means to stop the flow?
Stem.
That's correct. What word means both to scratch slightly or what animals do when feeding in a field?
Grace.
Graze. What word as a noun is the place where all ideas originate? As a verb, it means to babysit the kids. Captain Joseph?
What?
Captain Joseph?
Mind.
Mind, that's correct. What is the comfy blanket your grandmother knitted for you or a native of Kabul?
Quilt.
That's incorrect. Afghan. Afghan is the correct answer. At the end of the first round, let's go and check our score before we move to our 10-point round. We have 140 points, Paint Branch High School, 140 points, Springbrook High School, all locked up. Next, we'll go to our 10-point toss-up round. You'll get 10 points for a correct answer, no penalty for wrong answers. But if you do buzz in and answer incorrectly, the other team will get to hear the answer in its entirety. All right, players, hands on buzzers, let's begin. For 10 points, our first up for grab questions is on pop music. What is the stage name of Stephanie Joanne Angelina?
Paint Branch, Chetri. Who is Lady Gaga?
I knew you knew that one, Lady Gaga. Now a 10-pointer on anthems. What is the current title of the United Kingdom's national anthem?
Paint Branch, Joseph.
God Save the Queen.
That's correct. For 10 points on authors. Who wrote the book Night?
Springbrook, Feister.
Elie Wiesel.
Elie Wiesel, that's correct. Number 4, let's go to the monitor for a visual question on world geography. On the monitor, you see the flag of what Nordic country?
Springbrook, Feister.
Sweden.
That's correct, Sweden. Question 5, our next topic is historical dates for 10 points. What was the catchphrase that had everyone fearing huge computer-related problems on January 1st?
Springbrook, Golden.
Y2K.
That's correct, Y2K. Our next 10-point toss-up is on entertainment. What network went on air at 12:01 a.m. on?
Springbrook, Feister.
MTV.
That's correct, MTV on August 1st, 1981. That's good. We're halfway through the first round. Let's take our second round. Let's take a quick look at our score. Currently, Springbrook High School, 180 points. Paint Branch, right behind, 160 points. Let's go to question 7. Let's continue with the 10-point on biology. The smallest ray in the world is the short-nosed electric ray at only 4 inches long. What is the largest at over 22 feet?
Springbrook, Feister.
Captain Feisty?
Electric eel.
That's incorrect. What is the largest at over 22 feet? The largest ray. Captain Joseph?
Paint Branch, Joseph.
Manta ray.
The manta. That's correct. Question 8. Check your monitors for the 10-point math question. Simplify this expression.
Paint Branch, Anderson.
X minus 3.
X minus 3. Good job. Question number 9 for 10 points on games. How many one-eyed jacks are in a standard deck?
Springbrook, Golden.
2.
2. That's correct. Question number 10. Here's our next 10-point toss-up on geography. What is the name given to the Great Plains in the 1930s due to the effects of a severe
Paint Branch, Joseph.
The Dust Bowl.
Dust Bowl? That's correct. Here's the 10-pointer on local history. President James Madison conducted the business of the federal government from the home of Caleb Bentley in Brookville, Maryland for a day during what war?
Paint Branch, Joseph.
The War of 1812.
That's correct, War of 1812. And to finish off our 10-point round, here's a question on medicine. What organ did Dr. Christian Barnard in South Africa use to perform the first human transplant of its kind?
Springbrook, Feister.
Heart.
That's right, Feister. It's all about the heart. Now that completes our second round of our game, which brings us to halftime and a chance to meet our contestants. Now let's start over with Paint Branch High School. Let's meet Mr. Anderson.
Hi, I'm Ryan Anderson, 15-year-old junior, and I'd like to thank our coach, Mr. Fandegrassi.
That's outstanding. Mr. Joseph.
Hello, I'm Sebastian Joseph, and I'd like to thank Ms. Dixon, our principal.
And Chetri.
Hi, I'm Shivani Chetri. I'm a 16-year-old junior, and I'd like to thank all our friends and family.
All right, that's great. The anchor, Mr. Sutton.
I'm David Sutton. I'm a 15-year-old sophomore. I'd like to thank all the teachers for teaching us what we need.
That's great. Great to be 15. Now let's meet the team from Springbrook. Here's Adam Hussein.
Hi, I'm Adam Hussein. I'm a 16-year-old junior, and I'd like to thank Miss Elizabeth Kelly for her continued support of our team.
All right, now let's go to Golden.
Hi, I'm Alex Golden. I'm a senior, and I'd like to thank our sponsor, Dr. Hussein.
Captain Brandon.
Hi, I'm Brandon Feist. I'd like to thank our administration for their continued support.
Hey, that's a great plug. Now let's end up with Gregory Ridgway.
I'd like to thank Ms. Hammond for her patience, Mr. Hammond, and of course, Big Cactus for all of his help.
That's outstanding. And I'd like to thank you all for being here today. Also like to thank my main student crew from Rockville High School. Big shout out to them under the direction of Michael Bailey, who worked behind the scenes to make our broadcast possible. Thanks to you all for everything you do. Now let's take a short break for some messages from MCPS TV, and then we'll return to the second half of Quizmaster Challenge. And welcome back to Quizmaster Challenge. As we move to our second half, let's take a quick look at our score. Right now, Paint Branch and Springbrook are locked up at 200 points apiece. Same rules will go into our third round, our lightning round. Same rules as before. However, now each question is worth 15 points. Again, please buzz in. No penalty for incorrect answers. However, the opposing team will have an opportunity to hear the question in its entirety. All right, players, hands on buzzers. Let's begin. Question number 1 for 15 points is our first toss-up question on journalism. What is the name of the national newspaper published since 1982 and headquartered in Virginia that is the #1?
Springbrook, Feister.
Washington Post.
That's incorrect. That is #1 in the country in daily print circulation. Captain Joseph.
Paint Branch, Joseph.
USA Today.
USA Today, that's correct. Next for 15 points, here's a question on business. What does Adidas stand for, according to the company website? Captain Feister, Captain Joseph, Adidas, wonderful shoe. What does it stand for? Stands for the founder, Adi Dassler. Question number 3. Players, look at your monitors for a 15-point visual question on quotations. I can resist everything except temptations. These are often cited words of what famous Irish writer and poet?
Springbrook, Hussein.
Burns.
That's incorrect. Irish writer and poet who, during the late 19th century, became one of London's favorite playwrights. Captain Joseph?
Wild.
Wow, that's correct. For 15 points, here's a selected response food question. What state is in a battle with the state of Maine, claiming its Amish inhabitants are the original inventors of the whoopie pie?
Springbrook, Feister.
Captain Brandon?
Virginia.
That's incorrect. The original inventors of the whoopie pie.
Pennsylvania.
Yeah, Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania, that's correct. Our next 15-point toss-up deals with mythology. What was the name of the youth loved by Aphrodite in Greek mythology?
Paint Branch, Chetri.
Adonis.
Adonis, that's correct. Check your monitors, players, for this 15-point visual U.S. history question. What is the full name or nickname of this First Lady who was instrumental?
Springbrook, Feister.
Captain Brandon?
Lady Bird Johnson.
That's correct, Lady Bird Johnson. We're halfway through the 15-point toss-up round. Let's check our scores. Currently, Paint Branch High School leading the way, 260. Springbrook High School right behind, 215 points. Now let's move on to question 7. As you grab your pencil and paper for this 15-pointer on math.